Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm your host, Ashrak Vox. It feels as if so many fans are waiting for the plot episodes to come in Season 4, and while Season 4 has had a lot of enjoyable episodes so far, a lot of people are wondering, where the heck is the plot? Where are the episodes? Season 3 definitely didn't take this on to pick up. Well, it kinda did, because what you're watching right now is Season 3. I know I mentioned this before, but originally Season 2 was 52 episodes, and then Season 2 got split into Season 2 and 3. Season 4 and 5 were originally Season 3, and then that got split up until what we're watching right now as Season 4. Season 2 had a very slow beginning. It took about 9 or 10 episodes to actually start a story arc, or at least some plot episodes. Granted, we did have episodes like Sworn to the Sword and Full Disclosure to kick off Season 2, but we also had The Kindergarten Kid and Mindful Education to kick off Season 4. And as I mentioned in my review for 3 Gems and a Baby, Greg flashback episodes always lead into something plot related. The Message, Chillited, Gem Hunt, there's always some kind of episode with some kind of plot relevance right after it. So we can assume when the show returns, assumably in January, there will be big plot advancements. We'll finally get back to the overarching story. But honestly, right now is the perfect time to have all these slice of life episodes, these character development episodes. And that leads into today's topic. Right now, all the villains we have in Steven Universe are out of commission. Besides the diamonds, obviously. As I said many times before, Jasper's corrupted, the rubies are in space, Peridot's a crystal gem, Bismuth, who could have been a villain. I would have loved a Crystal Gem Gone Rogue story, but she's bubbled in the burning room. So, nothing's really happening right now in the show, and that allows them to introduce characters like Mystery Girl or Andy. It allows them to tell stories about Onion's friends, or Peridot understanding corrupted gems, and bubbling one for the first time. Because I have a feeling these bittersweet resolutions that the gems keep finding themselves in are about to be over. Their luck is about to run out, and their next run-in with Homeworld won't be so lucky. Whoever the next antagonist will be in the series are going to give the gems a run for their money, and is going to put both Steven and his morals to the test. Now that he knows that Rose shattered Pink Diamond, his view on Homeworld and how he approaches them, there's going to be some difference, whether a subtle difference or a major difference. But who exactly is going to be the next antagonist in Steven Universe? Who's going to give the gems a run for their money? Well, I believe we already had hints on who could be the next antagonist. Things that slip past us in dialogue that some people have talked about, theorized, but never really related it back to the plot, at least not recently. Now let's look back at the Season 2 finale, Message Received. Alright, Log Date was the finale, but Message Received was just better. And I'd rather end the season with the appearance of Yellow Diamond rather than the aftermath of Peridot freaking out because she called Yellow Diamond a Claude. Claude! When Yellow Diamond's first talking to Peridot and Peridot tells her about the ship, Yellow Diamond states she'll inform Peridot's manager of her incompetence.
I'll inform your manager of your incompetence. And what is the status of the cluster?
Alright, but who's Peridot's manager? Did Yellow Diamond ever inform her? Is she gonna be big, mean, and scary? I doubt it. To be manager of a Peridot's, or as we can assume, multiple Peridot's, assuming that Peridots only work with other Peridots and there's no other gems with them, I'm assuming that gem would also be technician based. I'm assuming they would have a good grasp on gem technology. Just as good, if not better than Peridot. I don't think they would necessarily be a soldier, but Peridot was nothing to sneeze at when she was an antagonist. In fact, she almost succeeded in killing the gems.
This is only the beginning of my escape.
So I'm assuming her manager would be smarter, more cunning, more access to gem technology, and can serve as a legitimate threat. Whereas Peridot was more of comic relief. When she was an antagonist, she felt more of like the villain of the week, Jack Spicer ordeal. She was a threat, she could do damage, but ultimately we were rooting for a Peridot redemption arc for a reason, because we saw how good she would be as a gem. Her dynamic and chemistry and personality, she was way too bubbly and nerdy to be an antagonist forever. And I'm assuming all Peridots are kind of like that because we've seen how all the rubies act. That probably means all lapises are emo. Although I like to think not all amethysts act like amethyst. She's kind of housebroken, and that's why we love her. So yeah, I can see Yellow Diamond having Peridot's manager come down to Earth, seeing that cluster has not yet hatched. That the Earth is still there, and they haven't retrieved the rubies. Although Yellow Diamond could make the assumption that Peridot got destroyed when the Diamond Communicator self-destructed, Yellow Diamond could think that, oh, if a Peridot can't handle checking up on the cluster, and seeing that it emerges, she sends Peridot's manager down to Earth to check up on it, to run some diagnostics to see why it hasn't emerged yet. And when that happens, you'll see that the cluster is bubbled, and while all the gems, Garnet, Amethyst, Pearl, Steven, Peridot, Lapis, all try to thwart Peridot's manager's plans, ultimately she succeeds in her mission to check up on the cluster and informs Yellow Diamond that it's bubbled. But Peridot got sent to Earth with Jasper, a valuable court soldier who had emotional ties to Earth. Well, Yellow Diamond might figure, okay, if Jasper's emotional issues could even possibly be a factor in why she hasn't returned yet, that just being on Earth is too much for her, let's not send another one. But then who? Who would accompany Peridot's manager? This goes back to Monster Reunion when we had another hint at a future antagonist. Possibly. During Centipedal's flashback, she illustrates her commander. Steven even points this out. Let's just make the assumption that Centipedal's commander got off on Earth on time before all the gems got corrupted.
New orders from your commander. To retreat. Everyone's running, but from what?
Being a commander, I'm assuming that gem would be pretty tough. Although they weren't drawn that big, it was a stick figure drawing. We can also assume that gem probably wasn't under Pink Diamond's court, so Yellow Diamond wouldn't have any issues sending her to Earth. And besides, Jasper was just a soldier, but a commander? They're tough, they're cold, they can't be broken. They're not the typical run-of-the-mill. Giving Yellow Diamond more confidence that this time, when they go to Earth, it will result in the Earth's termination as the cluster finally emerges. Now, what would make Peridot's manager and Centipedal's commander such great antagonists is that they would have an emotional relation to the characters. There are some emotional stakes there with both Peridot and Centipedal. Peridot can open up about her experience on Homeworld, how her manager is not the nicest to her, and in fact is very critical of a person. Gem. We can see the tension between those two, and it would add great development to Peridot. Granted, Peridot has already had her fair share of development, but she's a fan favorite, so we obviously know there's gonna be more to come with her. With Centipedal's commander, we can see Steven trying to explain corruption to her and see if she actually knows what happened to the corrupted gems, because Jasper didn't.
You used to be a quartz too, didn't you? What happened to you?
But being a commander, she may have more higher up intel. It would also allow for a great reintroduction of Centipedal and her corrupted crew. We could finally get some insight on how the Diamonds feel about corruption, and how any elite gems would feel about it, assuming that they do know what happened with the corruption bomb. Song, Light, we need answers on that too. Peridot's manager and Centipedal's commander may also wonder, where's Jasper? Allowing a reintroduction of Jasper. Granted, still corrupted. I just feel like it'd be odd if we had a random episode of Steven like, okay, I think today I'm gonna try to heal Jasper, or okay, I'm gonna try to heal Centipedal again. I feel like the plot would have to demand for either of them to be healed, and this would reintroduce them, without it feeling too forced or out of nowhere. Whether this would lead to Steven to figure out how to heal corruption, I don't want to say, because that still feels very unpredictable on if Steven can even heal corruption. They have it set up so his dream powers plus his healing spit would heal corruption, especially now we know that corruption is much more of a mental thing than an actual physical thing.
If MC Bear Bear didn't tear the fabric of his arm, but the fabric of his mind.
But Centipede seems to think the only way to get healed is by the diamonds.
How can I help you? I don't understand.
As I stated earlier, Peridot's manager would give them a run for their money, especially with Centipede's commander, assuming they're both elite gems, which they both have higher tiles of power than what we've seen before from other Homeworld gems, so we can assume that they are. Hell, I don't see Jasper being commander. She was still a soldier when she came to Earth. And if Jasper was a struggle for them, then Centipede's commander and Peridot's manager could be an impossible battle. Granted, once they fused, Jasper got her ass whooped. But with these two new gems from Homeworld being stronger and wiser, they could easily outsmart the gems and take them all down. Maybe before they can even get a chance to form like Alexandrite, Sugilite, Opal. I don't want to say they could take down Alexandrite because that feels like something a diamond should do, or at least should do. And this time, instead of getting them trapped on Earth or destroy the ship, this time Homeworld actually successfully contacts Yellow Diamond, informing Yellow Diamond about Steven, the cluster, Garnet, Amethyst, and Pearl still being alive. And before I get to mention, Centipede's commander could also know who Pearl is, as in which diamond that Pearl actually belonged to before Pearl went rogue. Assuming Pearl belonged to a diamond, I'm still kind of leaning on either White Diamond or her just being Rose's Pearl, or just a regular Pearl, but that seems really boring for Pearl's character. All of that being said, I feel like they have to keep going higher and higher up on who serves Yellow Diamond before she'll actually come to Earth. Granted, the rubies were kind of a downgrade from Jasper, but there are more rubies than there was one Jasper. Yellow Diamond sent her soldier, she sent her best soldier. Now I feel like it would make sense to send a higher up from a technician, which would be a manager, and a higher up from a soldier, which would be a commander, have them see what's going on Earth, and once she learns what's on the up and up, she finally decides, okay, it's time for me to come and check things out myself. And if this all did happen, and it just ended up with Centipedal's commander and Peridot's manager being bubbled, I would be so disappointed because it's getting kind of repetitive at this point. Oh, here comes an antagonist before they can tell Homeworld, oh look, they get defeated and then out of commission. I don't want any bubblings, I don't want any redemptions, I don't want any corruptions, I just want an antagonist to come to Earth and then finally contact the diamonds. It's time. And who's to say that a Homeworld gem who's been through the war in conjunction with the crystal gems could give Steven an accurate portrayal of what happened during the gem war from both sides? But these are just my thoughts and I want to hear yours, so please comment down below. Who do you think will be the next antagonist in Steven Universe? Do you think we'll actually see Peridot's manager, Centipedal's commander? Or do you think they were just throwaway lines? I'm really excited for season 4 to come back, and hopefully we get some major plot advancements, and I hope you guys are too. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, it really helps us out. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, links to everything in the description. Awestruck Vox, signing out.